There are marketing mistakes that musicians make that get them blocked, blacklisted, and remembered but for the wrong reasons. And because I want you guys to avoid these pitfalls, I've dedicated today's video to discussing the 5 deadliest marketing mistakes that musicians make. Hi guys, I'm Miss Crystal. I'm an entertainment attorney, public speaker, and author of How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business. I'm the owner of Dukes Up Records, and most importantly, I'm an independent musician. Be sure to subscribe and turn on this bell and notifications so you don't miss our weekly videos to help you with your music career. We actually just released one all about Kanye, him releasing his music contracts, and we kind of do a deep dive so you guys understand how to look at these contracts moving forward, so make sure you check that one out. So guys, to lay the groundwork, I'm gonna go through these different 5 tips, but each one of these should be so heavily weighted. They play together, and you gotta make sure all of these things are essentially implemented or avoided in order to be successful with your marketing tactics for your music. Starting with number 5, the stop and think why policy. The stop and think why policy is all about if you are going to blow a chunk of change from your marketing budget on hiring a company, whether it's a PR company, a marketing company, whatever you want to call it, why is it that you're hiring this company and not doing the work yourself? Now, we think usually because the company says they're going to be able to get us views or the interviews or some, press publication or coverage. But at the end of the day, you don't actually know anything about most of these companies. You're looking at a website, you're looking at a sales pitch. And not to say that there aren't legitimate companies out there, but I have worked with quite a few, and I know that clients lose a lot of money with no guarantee of an outcome and also no transparency. So you're not actually getting the emails to the editors. You're not actually getting the contacts and building these relationships so that you can continue for your next release, your next album, to continue resubmitting. And sometimes these companies, air quotes, will be, putting up, let's say, a review on some other website that they own. And they didn't tell you that they actually own that other website, and they did this great service and charged you $5,000 for it. So I don't want you guys losing money. So I would just say, if you are thinking that you need help, well, don't just blow a chunk of change on hiring another company. Think about why you're looking for help and why is it that you can't learn how to do that thing yourself. And as a quick example, let's say you are looking at hiring a PR company. Most of them want you to sign a contract between 3 to 6 months. And so it's gonna be a fee of $3,000 to $5,000. Well, let's take that $5,000 instead, and you are now gonna go teach yourself how to set up a Facebook ad. And then you're gonna set up a bunch of different Facebook ads, and I'm telling you, $5,000 goes a really long way. And all of a sudden now, you are reaching not only hundreds of thousands, but millions of people. And so as far as the valuation of, if the ultimate goal is to get the music to as many people as possible, why hire the PR company that's gonna get you the publication that might reach 100 people? You see what I'm saying? So take time to go on YouTube, watch these videos, learn how to do this stuff yourself, and be really smart with your marketing budget. Number 4, remember to always be on when it comes to your online presence. Now, what I mean by this is that I learned this lesson when I was young as far as a performer. Always remember that you're on stage, whether you're in the wings, whether you are behind the stage, that people are watching you. People are kind of analyzing you as a performer, as an artist. Well, when it comes to social media, when it comes to your stories, what you're posting on your socials, what you're putting on your website, every single day, every single post, everything matters because you're waiting often for that right collaborator, that right label to kind of check you out and scout. And it's not like it was back in the day where they would come to a show and that was the big interaction. Now, these executives are coming to our social media profiles, and this is how they're judging us within 30 seconds, if not less. So make sure every time that you are kind of putting yourself out there, it's an opportunity to connect, and you never know who's following you. Oftentimes, people will follow you for a while to get a sense of what you're doing. So have that kind of commitment and passion in everything that you're doing, even when it comes to your social media. Number 3, quality control of your product. I know so many incredibly talented songwriters and producers who will cut corners when it comes to things like, let's say, mixing or mastering, and you can hear that the product is good, but it's not really kind of industry standard or up to par, and so it can kind of reflect badly on the artist. So when it comes to your actual craft, the actual product that you're putting out, again, when you have that moment of someone who really matters, who's really important, that's looking at your music or looking at your music videos. Make sure that you kind of go that extra mile with the creativity, with, getting the team together and making sure you shoot enough days, whatever it is that you need to do to make sure the product is as quality as humanly possible. Because look, guys, this is a music business. If someone's going to approach you to do a collaboration, a sponsorship, to give you a record label deal, they're looking at you as a business partner. So they want to see that you are actually putting out quality content that they can basically just pick up, put a little gasoline on the fire and help you get to that next step. So always revisiting what you're doing, working on your craft is so essential as a baseline starting point for anything else that you do in your marketing portion of your career. And even myself, with my music career, I have been lucky enough to have, people messaging me or leaving comments on different posts who I'm a fan of or I've followed and supported for a long time. And I'm just, obviously so flattered that they care and they're following me as well. But again, that goes back to, had I not put out whatever that piece of content was, had I not run an ad, had I not done the things that I'm talking about in this video, well, maybe they wouldn't have followed me. Maybe they don't care so much. So that effort will translate into that followership, the fandom, and then just connecting you with other people in the industry that you can work with. Now, before I get to the next tip, by far the most important chapter, the longest chapter in my book, How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business, is all about marketing. I'm covering stuff and teaching you about EPKs, electronic press kits, how to actually approach different, music executives, how to kind of market yourself in a personal fashion, your elevator pitches. But, the book itself is an A to Z on how to have a successful music career. I'm covering and teaching you guys stuff like copyrights, trademarks. I even give you contract templates so you can stay protected. So if you guys want, check it out. It's on Amazon in 3 different formats: Kindle, physical format, and I can even read it to you via the Audible version. Number 2, the value game. When it comes to the value game, you gotta remember, this is probably one of the most important things that you will ever hear come out of my mouth about how you approach people, how you market yourself, especially as it pertains to anyone in the music industry. If you're going to reach out to someone and do what we call is cold calling, they don't know who you are, they don't have any kind of context or reference to who you are. Well, if you're gonna cold call someone, you need to bring value to the conversation. Obviously, we hope our music is valuable, that someone's gonna say, yes, that's great, I wanna put it in my music library and pitch it for you, or I wanna sign you to my record label. Well, that's usually not enough. You have to understand that the person receiving your email has probably gotten hundreds of other emails from people just as talented as you, just as motivated as you. And the way that you set yourself apart is that you try to find that little nugget of how you can be unique because you're bringing value. Is there something that you can offer as part of your email or your submission? And you say, hey, I see that you guys do X, Y, and Z. I do lighting, or I do graphic design, or I do this thing that I would love to maybe offer to you for free. Or I would love to, let's say, maybe assist in some kind of volunteer way. What is it that you can do that you can set yourself apart to be more unique? And then all of a sudden, let's say in an example of a music editor, right? Someone who you want to do a great review of your upcoming album so that you can get some free press. Well, maybe you did some research ahead of time about that editor to see what kind of things that editor is interested in. Maybe you can give them a lead, some little small show of effort so that they know that you're kind of the real deal and you're going to put in the effort to make sure you get ultimately what it is that you're asking for via the value that you bring. And the number 1 deadliest marketing mistake that musicians make is lazy, spammy marketing. Guys, if you're gonna copy and paste and DM everyone that you know, you've received these. You know what I'm talking about. You know how you feel when you open up that message and someone demands that you click on something, go somewhere, vote for them. It doesn't feel good. You gotta have a carrot, you gotta smell sweet, you gotta give people a reason why they should care. And sending a personalized message helps. Okay guys, let's use an example. If you're submitting your music for consideration, let's say to be in a film, you're submitting to what's called a music supervisor. And these people, all they do all day long is listen to potential music and read emails from people who are spamming them, but that really is their job. And so how can you set yourself apart? This goes to the value tip a minute ago. What can you do to say, hey, I checked out your stuff, I saw what you did, and try to personalize your message, even if it's just one sentence. Keep that in mind, and it's gonna really make a big difference, because out of the 100 spammy emails that person saw, they actually connected with yours because you took 30 seconds to try to find something to connect with that person about. And I'll even give you guys another example. As an entertainment attorney, I get emails and DMs from people all the time because they're looking for representation. Some entertainment attorneys will kind of freely submit on behalf of different creators. Our office doesn't. And, you know, so we'll get all of these submissions, but if you're gonna send an email and the email is gonna be titled, submit my music to record labels and I'll give you 25% of any deal that you get, you haven't put together a personalized email to even say, hi, Crystal. You're not even going to give any kind of introduction or explanation about yourself. You're just including links. Well, that's not a good first impression, and there's a good chance you might get blocked. So the point is kind of go through and think about how can you kind of show off? How can you kind of schmooze the person that you are submitting to? And put yourself in their shoes. How would you feel if you were receiving the message that you were about to send? I just released a new music video, Dangerous Daughters, the piano version. We just hit 100,000 views. Thank you guys very much for the support on that. I'll be sure to link it at the end of the video. And if you want to check out some dark pop music in general, just search Miss Crystal on all music platforms. If you want to come say hi, I'm on all social media platforms. Definitely the most active on Instagram, and it's been real cool to meet you guys. I'm gonna get out of here, but thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss any videos from your new favorite redhead. I'm Miss Crystal. Bye.